All right, so I think we can get started now. I will switch on my camera just for the first 5 minutes. My name is Grace Kashivena, and I'll be your presenter for today's session. For the sake of bandwidth, I will switch off my camera as we go along in the presentation. To start off, Vanessa, can you help me admit more people? On the team today with me is Vanessa Maresh. She will be helping me with admitting people. She'll be helping me with any maybe difficult technical questions that you might have for me. She will also assist. And also, she will be also putting up polls as we go along with our presentation. There will be polls on your screen, so please take part in those polls. So to get started, we have a presentation by the Deputy Minister of Information, Communication and Technology. Just bear with me as I reshare my screen for her session. All right. I just need to include sound on my Teams before I share this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see and hear my video. Can I get a thumbs up if you can hear and see the video? Can you see? Yeah, I paused it.
With the evolution of information communication technologies, Namibia as a developing country is no exception to cyber attacks and cyber crime. The growing cyber attacks jeopardize the purpose of digital participation and connectivity, as well as the integrity of Namibia's critical infrastructure. The Namibian government seeks to build a cyber-resilient nation. Hence, in line with cabinet endorsement, the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology developed the National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness Raising Plan. The purpose of the awareness creation is to empower the nation's citizens with the knowledge and skills to make informed decisions when faced with potential cybercriminal activities, whether in general or at the workplace. The national document is a step towards building cybersecurity resilience and digital security to enable an innovative Namibia and attainment of social and economic growth. With this plan, the nation is prepared to respond effectively to the threats or attacks on network systems and services. Namibia will reap benefits and economic opportunities presented by the use of ICTs on the condition that the country's citizens are ready, capable, and vigilant against the threats that include phishing attacks, ransomware, cyberbullying, and child online vulnerability. The National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness Raising Plan helps to safeguard the citizens' privacy, educate and create awareness to safeguard the national critical information infrastructure, as well as ensure collaboration on cybersecurity to continuously improve the safety of vulnerable groups in the cyberspace. The scourge of cybercrime has the potential to negatively impact the nation's ability to achieve its developmental objectives. Namibia has encountered a rise in incidents of misuse of available internet platforms by criminals to carry out cyber attacks. These growing cyber threats disturb the purpose of digital participation and connectivity, as well as the integrity of our national critical information infrastructure. It is for this reason that the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, in collaboration with South Essential Information Technology, is hosting a series of awareness creation sessions for the Namibian nation. I therefore urge you all to join the ministry and South Essentials efforts to participate in the sessions in order to be equipped with the necessary skills in order to be safe on the internet, protect our nation's critical infrastructure, and make informed decisions should you fall victim or help those who fall victims to cyber attacks.
All right, so that was a message by our Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, just to help us understand why we are doing what we're doing. We are trying to raise awareness for cybersecurity around the whole country. All right, let me just reshare my slides so we can continue with our presentation for today. For those of you who are joining just now, like I said earlier, my name is Grace Kashivena, and I switched off my video just so we save on bandwidth. But here I am. I'm not a robot, so I'll be doing today's presentation. There is a poll on your screen. How are you feeling today? Maybe you can take part in that as we wait for our slide to share. Okay. So Vanessa later on will be sharing a poll also on recap for what we did last week. So if you have attended last week's session, it's also your chance to see how far or your knowledge so far on our sessions. Now I'm having challenges with my slide. Please bear with me. In the meantime, please complete the poll. Can everybody see my screen? Vanessa, can you see my screen? It's still coming. Okay, we are back on now. So in this slide, we usually have what you call a wall of fame in every session. So if you have attended 100% of our public sessions and you pass, because at the end of the day, at the end of each session, we have a test. So if you have passed the test and you've attended 100% of all our session, you get a gold badge. And you get to share this badge on your social media platforms. And if you have attended 75% of our sessions, and if you've also passed the test, you get to get the silver badge. And if you have passed 60%, I mean, if you have attended 60% or 50% of our sessions, you get the bronze badge. So we have this wall of fame for attendees. All right. Can we all see my slides by now? Just with a thumbs up? Yes, I have thumbs up. All right. So on my agenda for today, or on our agenda for today, we're going to look at a recap of last week's session. Just a quick recap of what we have learned last week. And then on our main topic for today is building immunity and resistance. And then we're going to look at social media, how you can build immunity on social media. And we'll do a quick activity. And at the end, we'll do a Q&A. So it's not a long session. All right. This is one of our phrases that we use in our session. They may win some battles, but we will win the war. So in other words, the criminals can try and win some battles, or they can try and do everything in their power to get to you, but we will win the war. We will win them at the end of the day. Looking at our recap for last week, we spoke about personal information. What is personal information? What can be regarded as personal information, which was your name, your surname, your date of birth, your postal address, your residential address. This is what is considered personal information. And then we looked into teamwork, how you can, when you have experienced a cyber attack or a cyber threat, inform a friend, phone a friend, and tell your neighbor about what you have experienced, so you work as a team to help build immunity amongst yourselves. And then we spoke about how to beware on social media. We're also going to look into more ways and you can be safe on the internet when you are using your social media platforms. And we looked at passwords. What is considered a strong password? This is now 12 characters, at least 12 characters long of a password, which should have a symbol, a capital letter, a number. This is what considered as a strong password, and how criminals cannot get to you easily if you use the strong passwords. And also we looked into why you should not use the same password for all your platforms, be it your banking platforms, be it your social media platforms. And then we looked at links. What is considered a legitimate link? When not to click on a link, and how to see whether the link is legitimate or not. And then we looked at MFA, which is the multi-factor authentication app, and how you can use it to your advantage. A multi-factor authentication app is another. Just bear with me quickly. The goal of a multi-factor authentication app um, is to add to additional layers of security. So if one factor, like your password, is compromised, then there's an additional barrier to prevent unauthorized access to your platforms, whether your social media platforms or your Microsoft 365, for example. And then we looked into, if it is too good to be true, it is. It probably is. It's highly unlikely that you have won money from your Nigerian prince or a Nigerian prince somewhere. And so it's highly unlikely. If it's too good to be true, then it is. If it is asking you to be urgent about it, then it is a red flag, something you need to look out for. And if it's asking you to wire money, then it also is a red flag. So why would anybody ask you to send them money in order for you to access your accounts or whatever? So these are the things that you need to take into consideration. I think there's a duplicate of our recap, so what? Can you see my slide? All right. Another recap we did was understand the gaps in your security and close it. Share your experiences with as many people as possible, colleagues, friends, social media. Report to the authorities and to vendors. Follow the security giants in social media, which is Salt Essential IT and Ministry of Information and Communication Technology and Microsoft and so forth. And also we have a threat alert at salt.na. This is an email where you can report your suspicious activities or scams that you have experienced. So we share them on our platforms and also alert the public. And attend as many security awareness trainings as possible, like this one that we have. We have 4 more sessions before the end of the year, you can attend and be more equipped with more information. One of our famous phrases that we use, you are the last line of defense. There's only so much we can do. There's only so much we can equip you with. But at the end of the day, the work lies with you. You are your last line of defense. You need to go switch off. You need to go enable multi-factor authentication. So the work lies with you at the end of the day. All right. So today's topic is how to build immunity. Things you have control over. Read the terms and conditions before you click or agree. Um, review your online presence and your old posts. We will look into that. Like, for example, we have Facebook and Twitter where you can go see your settings. And then also, do you really have 400 friends? The same way you wouldn't want 1,000 people or 70,000 people following you in the street, well, and seeing whatever you're doing. It's the same way you should also not be wanting just anybody to follow you on social media or to be your friend on social media, because you might share something very innocent or something very dear or personal to you, and you think you can share with your friends, but some other people have other intentions with this information. um, for example, if you post and say you're going to Bali for the holidays and you're going with your whole family, so now other people that are claiming to be your friends know now that your house is unattended, no, there's nobody at your house, and they can orchestrate a robbery or some sort. So this is why we need to be careful of the type of people we have as friends on our social media platforms. Number 4, it is always advised to browse in private browsing. So in case you're at a public library or a public cafe and you want to log on to some to your platforms, always log on in private browsing. In private browsing, when you click or right click at the very top corner of each browser, you the top right hand side, you see there's 3 dots. So when you click on that, it will give you an option of in private browsing, and there's many other settings and so forth, but there is always that option to um, browse in private browsing. All right. Number 5, log out of browsers, apps when done using public devices and close the browser window. Number 6, enable MFA. MFA, like we said earlier, is a multi-factor authentication app that you can use on all your apps to verify whether it is really you who's trying to log on to your platforms. Number 7, your devices should have a password and set it to lock after a few minutes. So in case you want to run to the toilet or in case you want to speak to a colleague in the next office, it's always advisable to have your PC to lock at least a few minutes, at least 2 minutes and not more, because somebody else can run into your office and log onto your PC or go into your personal platforms. All right. Your device name should not include your full name. So if you're setting up a new PC, if you're setting up your new cell phone, it's always advisable not to have your full name as your device name. Let's say you're the president's daughter or you are the president and your name is appearing on your devices, especially when you're logged onto a free Wi-Fi. Criminals can see this and can easily hack you or plot to get into your account or to get into your devices, but just by being who you are. So it's always advisable to have not funny names, but just a name that's familiar to you, but it's not your full name. Okay. Number 9, beware when you're using a USB drive. Don't plug in your USB drive in everywhere you go and then come plug it onto your work PC, because then you can jeopardize the company system or the company's devices. All right. Number 10, attend cybersecurity training sessions or cybersecurity training awareness training sessions that we have. We have 4 more sessions before the end of the year, and I think many more next year as well. So be on the lookout on our social media platforms. We will be sharing our next sessions. Also at the end of this session, we'll be sharing the link to our next session that you can register and also join. Okay, multi-factor authentication. Like I said, it's a way to verify your identity, a way to verify your platforms. You can use it when logging onto Facebook, when logging onto LinkedIn, as you can see on the slide. Okay, in this next slide, we will be looking into what is doxing. Doxing is a form of online harassment that means publicly exposing someone's real name, address, job, or other identifying information without a victim's consent. So let me just share this video for a bit longer or a bit in-depth explanation of what doxing is. Bear with me as I reshare my screen to the video. Please, with a thumbs up, can you hear, can you see my video that I'm trying to share? Vanessa, please confirm on behalf of the team. Can I get a thumbs up? Are we able to see my video? For those of you that cannot see or hear my video, we will be sharing the recording of this whole session, and you will be able to go review what it is you have missed or you might have missed. Please forgive me if you're not able to hear or see.
What is doxing? Doxing is the practice of posting someone's personal information online without their consent. The word first emerged in the world of online hackers in the 1990s, where anonymity was deemed sacred. A feud between hackers might escalate when someone decided to drop dox on somebody else. That is, post documents revealing the legal name of a person who had only been known by an alias up to that point. Dox became dox, which in turn lost the drop and became a verb by itself. Modern-day doxers aim to reveal information that can move their conflict with their targets from the internet to the real world, including home addresses, employers, social security numbers, private correspondence, and criminal history or otherwise embarrassing personal details. The goals range from intimidating or humiliating victims, causing a loss of employment or breaking off of relationships, or making the target a victim of in-person harassment or assault. Is doxing illegal? The prospect of someone posting your
Okay, I'm
address
back.
for anyone on the internet to see is pretty scary to most
Just mute.
people, and you may assume that it can't possibly be legal.
At least I mute.
Federal law restricts the publication of personal information about certain categories of people, including state or federal employees or officers, as well as jurors, witnesses, or informants in trials or criminal investigations. If the doxing is part of a larger campaign of harassment, victims who don't fall into those categories may be able to press charges based on state or federal stalking legislation, or file a civil suit for damages. In many cases, doxers can piece together bits of information that their targets have posted in public view or hinted at on social media. Collating that information or drawing people's attention to that isn't illegal, as intrusive as it might feel. And if the doxer knows your legal name, a surprising amount of information about you is a matter of public record. Your voter registration, property records, marriage and divorce records, mugshots, and more. These details aren't necessarily just a Google search away, but they can be obtained from government agencies readily enough, often at low to no cost. The quickest route to finding and weaponizing personal information about a target may be to simply buy it, whether from legal data brokers or from databases passed around on the dark web, derived from the innumerable data breaches that afflict companies large and small. If a doxer can connect their target's name, email address, or social media handle with a record in one of those databases, they can get a wealth of information that can then be posted publicly. There are even paid doxing as a service outfits out there. Getting legal relief against doxers can be difficult. It's It's not often clear what laws they're breaking, and they usually take steps to obscure their own identity, even as they expose yours. The bright spot? Doxing violates the terms of service of most social media platforms. Reporting tweets or Facebook posts that include your personal information will generally get them swiftly taken down and the offending user suspended.
All right. So that was a in-depth explanation of what is doxing. And usually what is advised for you to protect yourself to be not in order not to be doxed is when you go adjust your social media platforms, your social media settings, um, ensure that your profiles or usernames or handles are kept private. Remove any addresses, places of work, and specific locations from your accounts. Let's say you have posted in 2017 so your location where you stay. So it's always advisable to go review your old posts and remove those things that compromise you from being doxxed or being attacked. All right. Moving on. It's just that my slides are now missing again. In the meantime, Vanessa is posting a poll, so please take part in that. It will appear on your screen while we wait for my slide. Please bear with us. In the meantime, are there any questions you can maybe post on your chat? Any questions or any concerns that you might have, you can post on the chat and we will get to you while we wait for the slide. There is a poll on your screen. What do you do if you learn your account has been compromised? Anyone? What do you do? Just click on the right answers and submit. For those of you who are joining now, we're just trying to share my or present to the screen. We're just having a bit of difficulties or delay in that regard. Please bear with us. Complete the poll in the meantime. It's coming. I think while we wait for it to show on your side, I'm just gonna continue. In this current slide that we're gonna talk about how do you protect yourself and your family. Things you can influence. Update your Windows. Update the software on your devices. Set up Windows security. In order for you to do this, you just need to go to your PC settings and privacy, and that is where you will find that information. I think by now everybody can see my slide. Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a thumbs up if you can see my slide on your side? Awesome. So yeah, as I was saying, in order for you to protect your family, you and your family, there is just a gray screen. I think it's just the internet. I think it's going to also come because there are a few people that I can't see. You can also try and leave the call and join again. That also helps for you to get back with everybody else. Can't see. Like I said, just leave the meeting and come back again. Try leaving and coming back again, and then you might be able to see. Okay, moving on. And in case you have missed out on a few of the slides, please know that we will share the recording with everybody present today, and you will be able to go review what it is you might have missed. So as I was saying, how to protect your family, you and your family in your house, for example, if you're using a certain PC or a laptop for everybody in the house, update Windows, update the software on your devices, set up Windows security. If you're using a work PC, rather consult the IT department for ways you can protect yourself or ways you can update your softwares and your antiviruses and so forth. Okay, so this is the privacy settings for Facebook. Like we earlier, how we spoke about how you can build immunity is by going to your settings and reviewing your settings. Maybe many of your things are public for public view and not just private for you. So in order for you to go protect yourself on Facebook, go on settings and privacy, and this is where you'll get all this information. This is where you get all this information on how you can, for example, who can download your information, who can see your activity log, who can access your information, and so forth. This is the type of settings you'll find in Facebook, and go review them and see how you can fix them or change them. Here in this slide, you see how you can see your followers on Facebook. You click on your friends. You open your Facebook on a web browser, and then you go to your profile, and then you tap on your right corner your friends, and then you will see followers. When you click on that, when you click on you click on friends and then you click on more. So when you click on more, you will see who your followers are. Followers, anybody, some people you've just accepted, or you don't know who exactly might be following you. Maybe it could be a hack, a scammer from India or something. It's always best to go review your settings. And Twitter, here you can see Twitter. This is how you access your privacy settings. You go to your profile and you go to more. Once you click on more, you go to settings and privacy. And once you go to settings and privacy, you will find your account information. You will find how to change your password. Maybe you feel like your password has been compromised or it's not strong enough. How to download an archive of your data, tweet teams, and how to deactivate your account and so forth. So this is how you can review your settings. And then next we review LinkedIn. LinkedIn privacy is the same thing like all the others. You go to view profile, and then you go to settings and privacy. And then there you can find how LinkedIn users sees your data, how LinkedIn uses your data. Sorry. You manage your data and activity, who can see your activity, get a copy of your data, salary data on your LinkedIn search history, personal demographic information, social and economic, and workplace research. So this is how you can go review your settings and see what is private, what is not, and how can you protect yourself. All right. I think Vanessa, everybody is now, you can now unmute your mic if you want to speak. So now we're going to do a team activity, quick team activity. So the team activity says your friend Deshi gets a new mobile phone and she is very excited about it. She posts pictures of her with her new toy while at Mark and Bean at the Grove. And she also advertises her old phone on Buy or Sell Namibia. What advice can you give Deshi in terms of security she can implement to ensure that this information is not exploited by cyber criminals or jealous rivals? Anyone? How can you help Deshi do better? Anyone? You can unmute your mic. We have enabled mics.
And there, nobody, please try. Nobody's going to laugh at anybody. The idea behind these sessions is that we all learn. So anyone that wants to, anything you can think of.
Hi, Afet. I think he accidentally unmuted himself. To repeat the question or the team activity, your friend Deshi gets a new mobile phone and she's very excited about it. She posts pictures of her with her new toy while at Muck and Bean at the Grove. She also advertises her old phone on buy or sell in Namibia. So the platform she's using is Facebook. What advice can you give Deshi in terms of security she can implement to ensure that this information is not exploited by cyber criminals or jealous rivals?
Location. Turn off the location. She must not disclose the location.
She must not
Turn
disclose
off
the location. Yes. Thank you. Deshi shouldn't be posting her new phone to start with. Furthermore, she should not reveal her location in real time on social media. Thank you, Stephanus. Thank you. Thank you, team, for taking part in that activity. Are there any more pointers? Any more advice you can give Deshi?
Yes. Hello?
Yes. Yes, hi.
Yes, I think in terms of if somebody want to view the Ndeshi's phone, she must do so in a public place or to the nearest police.
Come again. This is Mwilima.
I'm saying, Mwilima, yes. I'm
Yes.
saying if somebody is interested in buying Ndeshi's phone, the one that she's selling, I think it's just advisable to do it or to meet the person or the wannabe buyer now, either at the police station so that she doesn't become a victim of the potential thief.
Yeah, that's a good advice. In case somebody wants to take her to an unknown location in order for them to exchange the transaction, yeah, that's a good advice. She must do it at the police station. That's what my advice is. Awesome. Thank you very much, team. Are there no more advices? So we can proceed to our...
I think she also need to flash her old phone that it doesn't leave any personal information in that phone that she's selling. Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Ananias. That's true. She should reset her whole old phone and flash it. That's a good one. Thank you, team. Okay, moving on. Like I said, today's session was not a long session. And we've almost actually come to the end of our session. In this slide that you see in front of your screen is what we call a WhatsApp bot. It's a newly launched WhatsApp bot. We launched it at the ICT, the National ICT Summit, which was on the 10th. So in this bot, you can use your phone now and scan this QR code. So that bubble you see there is a QR code. So you just scan it. And once you scan it, it will take you to WhatsApp. And there you can ask any questions that you have on cybersecurity, on how to, keep your cyber health. All of that, you can ask it and it will help you. It will promptly respond to your question or your concern. In case you've been hacked, in case you've been scammed on all of this thing and you want to know what to do next, you can also use this platform. Any cybersecurity question or concern that you might have. So I'll just leave it on for a minute. to allow everybody to scan it. You can try it. Trust me, we're not scamming you. It is a WhatsApp bot. It takes you straight to WhatsApp.
So Grace, we can also use this one when we are writing exams, eh?
I don't know if you're allowed to use your phones in the exams, but yeah. But yeah. Can I get a thumbs up if you're getting through? Is everybody getting through? Those of you who have tried to scan, are you getting through? Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, team. So, like I said, you can ask it any WhatsApp, any cybersecurity questions that you might have. It will assist and respond to you. You can even leave it a voice note in different languages, but not our local languages yet. I think it's only Afrikaans and English and German. No Afrikaans, just maybe German and English.
Just maybe, Grace, while they're finishing up with that, I'm going to post the link to the page where they can locate all the links to register for the future sessions, as well as where we put the recordings. I'll just put it in the chat.
I hope everybody heard that. Vanessa is going to put in all our future sessions registration links in the chat. So if you want to attend next week's session and the week after and so forth, you can just click on those links and register. The same way you are here now, you can also be in our next sessions. And please share with your colleagues, your friends, or people that you might feel they need this type of sessions or need this type of awareness. Okay, moving on to this next slide. This is now, earlier I spoke about a test. So after every session or at the end of each session, we have a test for our attendees, just to test your knowledge if you're really listening, or if you want to see if you are up to par with everything that we have shared. Scan that QR code. If you're not able to scan that QR code, I'm also going to share the link in the chat. So I've shared the link in the chat of the test. So this takes you straight to the test, and you can take part. Vanessa, can you advise? Does it give you your points immediately after you're done?
No. Post the scores and I'll get it.
So we will post the scores and you'll get a notification. Just please make sure that you fill in your full name, your email address, and every question in order for us to get a hold of you. If you're not able to scan, I have shared the link in the chat to the test. Like we spoke earlier, there is a wall of fame. So the more you pass all our sessions, the more you get a badge, and you get to share on your social media that you are immune to cybersecurity. Nobody can attack you. The chances are less that you'll be immune or compromised.
Do you really want to do that?
Okay, so we have come to the end of our session for today. Are there any questions, any concern, or do you want to share experiences with us? You're also free to do so. You can unmute yourself or write in the chat. This is the session for Q&A. Are there any questions, any experiences that you might have had in the past that you want to share? Yes, there is a hand up. Martha, please go ahead.
Um, my name is Martha. So I've got an experience, but this was identity theft here, right in among Namibians, and I really found it very, very scared. An amount of about 400 was going off my account. I inquired with the bank, and they said it's a policy. I check up with a policy institute, and they said I signed a document, and I asked them to see. I want to see the document and who actually submitted this request. They couldn't actually find the person who put in the request. The person doesn't appear on their database, and the money didn't go to their account. So it was a whole shebang. So it just made me more aware that, we hear about cybersecurity and identity theft. It happens in other places besides here in Windhoek. So it's just that we really have to be very, very careful. I don't know how they got my ID. I seriously don't know how they managed it. I went to the police, reported. I managed to get a case and got refunds from the insurance company. But I didn't want to pursue it further. I just left it there for the insurance company to look into it, because this is becoming very prevalent. And yeah, we should just be very aware of our surroundings, where we use our IDs and stuff like that. So that was just an experience that I wanted to share.
Okay, thank you so much, Martha. That was very informative for the rest of us. Especially when you're standing in queues and you may be looking at your personal documents, you must always also be vigilant or careful of who's around you and who's peeping into your documents. And taking photos and scanning people's information is very easy. So we need to be very careful when we're at those public institutions like hospitals and NATAs and home affairs and so forth. So we need to be very careful. Thank you, Martha. Anyone else? Star. Hi, Star.
Yes, Grace, how are you?
Good, how are we?
I'm okay. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was very insightful. I would just like to say that how is MICT going to promote this type of education to of cybersecurity practice to avoid to reduce vulnerability in the remote areas? Because I see that that's the most affected area, since we have lack of technological infrastructure. Is there any maybe framework or contingency plan in place?
Can you just repeat that for us, please, Star? Sorry, I only got on now.
Maybe to reiterate, she said,
I think yes, I'm saying, how can remote communities be educated about basic cybersecurity practices to reduce vulnerability? Because seeing that they are more affected since there's a lack of technological infrastructure.
So definitely, that is part of the campaign that we are having with MICT, is that we also will have as part of our strategy and plan to be able to reach the remote areas, because you're quite right. I mean, there's also cybercrime there. It might take a little bit of a different form. And one of the ideas that we are working on is actually to enable these cybercrime tips and messages and educational materials, that we can actually share it with people with Tamagotchis as well, so that it can go out via SMS campaign, and so that it's not dependent just on, like, we are fortunate, and even us are struggling with the internet a lot of the times. But you can think in the remote areas, I mean, a lot of people don't have smartphones, a lot of people don't have internet at all. But that doesn't stop people. Remember, cybercrime is not limited to social media. It happens on SMS. It's a very broad range, and the education does need to reach them. So one of the ideas that we have had as part of the plan is that we actually have like a SMS campaign. But thanks for bringing that up, because yes, it is a big problem, and especially in our rural areas with the elderly and with our children are very much affected.
Thank you.
Okay, so there is 6 more minutes left to our session. Are there any more questions, any more experiences you want to share before we end off?
Sorry. Can you maybe share the current statistic on cyber crimes in Namibia? Because I understand that last year it increased by 40%, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So the quick answer to that is no. They are still busy setting up the Namibia Cyber Incident Response Center with CRAN. There's actually a stakeholder meeting next week that we're also going to. So CRAN is in charge of that. And so they're busy finalizing. So the only statistics that we actually have is statistics that is coming from the police and so on, but that is not really the real picture. There is a lot more that's going on, but because people don't have an official place except for the police to report these crimes, and many times people don't report the crimes, it's not reliable numbers. So once the cert is up and running, and we're very close to that now, then we will be able to have actual statistics, and then there's going to be a space, I believe it will also be on their website, where you will be able to see and view all of those statistics. But right now, we have an idea, but there's nothing that can really be confirmed, and it's not the whole picture, the information that we have. Matthias, I shared the QR code for the WhatsApp bot in the chat. There's not a link, Joseph. I hope you're referring to the WhatsApp bot. There's not a link. There is a telephone number that for the test. What are you referring to, Joseph? I mean the link for the WhatsApp bot. Okay, no, there's no link. You can either just scan in the QR code, or I can give you a number. So all you do, I'm going to give you the number in a minute, is you actually you add that number to WhatsApp. Just add it as iSecure bot, and then you will be able to you'll get added to that WhatsApp bot group, or it'll just be interaction between you and the WhatsApp bot. But then you can actually start engaging with it and start asking you questions. So there's no link. There is a number, a very smart number. If you spell that out in the alphabet, it stands for iSecure. So iSecure bot. I put the number in the chat. If there are no more questions, Grace, I think maybe we can close for the day. Maybe just reminders on where they can find everything.
Yes. So if there are no more questions, we have 2 more minutes left to this. I'll leave you with 2 more minutes to the session. We have come to the end of our session. Thank you very much for joining today's session. We will share the recording with everybody at the end of the session. We will share the link to the test as well with everybody via email. And I'm sure you have all provided your email addresses when you registered. So we will share all of that there. And we will also share future public session links where you can register for them as well. Thank you very much for joining today. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us for today's session. And with that, thank you. Goodbye. Have a great weekend.